white pieces against Ekaterina Lagno. Two Chinese grandmasters playing on board two, Zhu Wenjun against Liu Tingyue, Garifulina against Ushenina, Mamid Yarova against Hadem Al-Sharieh. And the games have started, so we have no choice but to go to open section, board one, Carlsen against Nakamura.
Yeah. And
One
it's Queen's
C4?
Gambit.
No. Yeah, well, what was the move order? I've missed it.
I've
missed
sure
it talking. It was
C4.
one C4, yeah. And this Queen's Gambit, Hikaru plays, I mean, it kind of became his very main line, right? And in this position after B6, there is a lot of various tricky moves, but Magnus goes for a straightforward Bishop D3.
A very solid line for black, but zero winning chances.
And he kind of needs winning chances if he wants the title himself, Hikaru Nakamura. I mean, yeah, draw against Magnus with black, nobody would mind that under different circumstances, right? But
yeah,
I mean,
but his opening choice basically indicates that he is not so much interested of winning this game. But
yeah, it's kind of
just
winning at any cost, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if he would be given a chance, if he will be given a chance, of course, he will try to take it. But
safety first approach.
Yeah, safety first. Let's see. Well, on the other hand, it doesn't look like Carlsen is getting a lot in this
yeah,
game.
but the black knight on a6 is kind of stuck, and the knight on b5 is very
Knight
very
on
nicely
d5
placed.
is nicely placed, right? So that will be like okay. I mean, it's a nice approach for Carlsen. I mean, you're playing for a slight plus.
Yeah, it suits him perfectly in case if Karjakin beats Duda.
Yeah, then he might make a draw and then increase his distance with pursuers. Rook a to c1. And I'm wondering if you ever consider taking with the pawn if black captures on d4, because it kind of leaves the knight on a6 without a single move. But probably you still take with the knight, yeah?
Yeah, because black is kind of getting ready to go knight b8.
Aha, rook a to c8, knight e5, another
so
jump.
that knight b8 can be met by knight c4.
Yeah, knight c4
at
is
some point,
yeah, it's clear. He prepares knight c4 as well as in some positions f2, f3 just to kick this centralized knight from e4 away.
And Magnus 30 seconds ahead on the clock.
Yeah, well, he
always
has
in a very comfortable situation.
Very interesting way of spending time, which is not spending time at all. I mean, he's playing very, very fast.
Yeah, but also we see how important was to have this World Championship match. I mean, it seems like he's very well prepared. He has so many ideas in all kinds of openings.
So, like for next half a year, he can play on this old preparation. Knight d6. Well, of course, the black's will to exchange the knight on b5 is understandable if this move works tactically.
Yeah, white has a move like knight g6, but do you want to change those pieces or not?
Yeah, that's hard to tell, right?
Because knight g6 might secure slight advantage, but maybe white thinks that I'm better anyway, so...
Ah, right, maybe I go knight g6, and if black takes with h-pawn, maybe I take on d6 with the bishop. Maybe I want to keep the bishop. Okay. Yeah, knight g6, h6, bishop d6, and black cannot really take, so that we will...
By the way, this very exact line had been played between the two players in the Sinkfield Cup Classical game in the last round when Magnus beat Hikaru in this very, very long
rook endgame, yeah. It actually was nothing special, right? But then Hikaru made a couple of mistakes and he lost in the end. Right, checking the other games. Karjakin against Duda is actually very, very sharp. Some Sicilian...
the same Scheveningen stuff.
Yeah, but Karjakin seems to be much more convincing than Nepo. Okay, so but first, of course, let's finish with this one.
Of course.
Yeah, I'm just checking if there are like early results or something.
Magnus,
not really.
Basically, today is the first time Magnus really taking his time, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And finally went for knight takes d6, bishop d6. But this case he might be regretting having spent so much time, because this is a move he could have made instantly. Queen g4.
Queen to g4.
But those are the moves which I'm not liking against Hikaru, because usually Hikaru is very good at reacting to all those
like direct threats.
Yeah, strange-looking moves. And CD.
Rook C8. But maybe Magnus has calculated something. Okay, now you take with the rook, right?
Yeah, but what are we missing? Some brilliant
knight
tactics.
f7?
Yeah, if rook takes
Rook
c8,
c8, knight takes f7, bishop f4, queen takes e6, threatening this.
But then knight c5. It's now with queen on b7. It's not mate because I'm covering the f7
so it will be
square.
a perpetual only.
But if you take ed4, then black goes queen e4, for example.
Or black
or
might be, or
not
might be, but better already. It feels like.
Wow, what is
knight takes f7, yeah.
Magnus
He does
goes
play, and Hikaru immediately grabs on f4, queen takes e6, knight c5, knight h6. It will be a draw.
Yeah.
It will be a draw. There is no this motive of queen g8, knight f7 mate, because the black queen is on b7. Nice game.
Yeah.
And kudos to Hikaru for defending somewhat inferior position.
But it was very strange. Hikaru was shaking his head at the end after knight takes f7, but I mean basically during the whole game he was dreaming to escape with a draw.
Okay, but that's typical Hikaru. Let's switch to board 2. If it's still in progress, I think Karjakin might get a very, very serious chance to help Carlsen. Right, it's still in progress. Well, would be nice to have a glance at the board. Can't
So
judge.
pawn up
Pawn
for
up, yeah.
Karjakin.
Pawn up and seems full control over position, yeah?
Yeah.
At the time. And the time. But it's still, I mean, it is a Sicilian, opposite castles, you know, I mean, there is always room for an error.
Yeah, but somehow very safe Sicilian for white.
Yeah, right. It kind of feels that he has taken the right pawn, right?
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes they would, like, you know, sacrifice the pawn and always, for a very long time, have the compensation. Here, he seems to be super solid. And, like, tripling the piece on the 4th rank. How often do you see this?
Yeah, certainly not in the Sicilian.
Right, queen to b5, some jumps. Now, kind of
b3, stabilizing.
trying to, obviously, to tempt white to trade the queens, but nobody wants to take on b5, of course. Rook to e8, well, I mean, there is certain inconvenience in white's position. Some bishop f2s appear. You know, it's no longer that stable, I would say.
I actually felt like white should have played queen b3 instead of b3, and then after queen b5 hit it with c4 just to kick the knight from d5.
Yeah, the knight on d5 is nicely played. Bishop f2, yeah, that's what I was talking about.
a4.
Okay, is it holding? Queen b6. Looks like, knight d7, well, those jumps.
Queen
Knight d7, queen a7. Duda is on 4 seconds, Karjakin is on 3. Blundered in exchange, but the game goes on, I mean. Knight takes, queen d7, now Duda is better. And if he wins, he will catch up Carlsen.
But still, white is very solid. He has good compensation, and by taking on a6...
I'm afraid Karjakin might lose on time. Look, I mean, he's making those moves on last seconds.
But so does Duda,
Knight d2, queen d1, knight d3, well... Not that easy to mate Sergei Karjakin, right?
Yeah, not at all.
Not at all.
And now he has stabilized.
Stabilized, and I'm not even sure if white is not better. I mean, while black is taking those h3 pawns, I mean, these pawns will run. Yeah, white is probably winning. Queen e4, brilliant move.
b4.
Brilliant move, queen e4, centralizing, knight to c5, stabilizing everything. Well, if he only had just tiny bit more time. Doesn't blunder the knight on c5. Yeah.
Yeah, queen e1. This is very nasty with little time on
yeah,
the
those
clock.
checks from behind, yeah?
Yeah.
No, just thought in such position, imagine white blunders the queen for the rook, and it's still unclear because 3 pawns supported with king and knight. Yeah, queen a5.
And queen
he
a5.
actually blundered the pawn.
But
knight d7.
Wow.
What do you do now? Rook b7. No check. Queen e4. He blundered, but maybe there was a lucky blunder. Because what to do now? Knight c5, there is no rook b4, and then queens exchanging, and those pawns should promote.
Yeah.
Those pawns should simply promote. King f8, well, lucky. Not easy. King e7, lucky. King b4. Does he win or not? I don't really understand. No, after g6 he should win. King b5, yes. h5, the h-pawn is running as well.
He might be losing.
Takes, wait, b5. Sorry, b7 and king b6, yeah, or king c6, rather. Rook to h8.
Just in time
King
to make
c6.
a draw, right?
King b6, h4, has to run with the knight.
Yeah, king c7.
King c7,
And then knight
h3,
comes
the
back,
knight
yeah.
comes, knight e4, knight f2.
And then white, no,
Wait,
white
but
cannot
now the
win.
king is running. Now the king is running.
Yeah, but the c pawn is also running.
The pawn
And
is also...
king e5, knight g4 check.
Oh, wow.
So
No, knight g4, knight g4, he would allow, yeah, to get to this. Ah, now there was a draw. Now black is winning h1, no? h1, knight takes, rook takes. There is a check on b file.
wow, incredible.
Rook
Sergei
h3.
wanted to win.
Rook h3. Wow. King b6, rook b3 check. King takes c5. Well, now it's going to be a draw. Now it's going to be a draw, right?
Is it?
Yeah,
He
because...
cannot get closer. Eh?
yeah, king e3, knight g4, so there is kind of a
Yeah,
border.
no,
And when
it's
he
just
gets,
in
yeah,
time.
he'll be stalemated. Knight
Yeah.
h1, king f3, king e3. Yeah, it will be a draw. Black ends up being a pawn up, but
Well, incredible
stalemated.
fight.
Yeah, that was one hell of a fight, Peter.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I'm
And-
still wondering if that h1 queen instead of rook h3, was it winning or not? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if we will have a chance. We obviously have to check. And Duda smiling. Obviously, he felt he could have lost. He could have won at some point. It was incredible game. So, which leaves the situation intact on the very top boards. It's Carlsen on 14 out of 17. Duda half a point behind with 13.5. It's 12 out of 17 for Hikaru Nakamura. I'm wondering if someone catches up with Hikaru. Not really, because Swidler makes draw against Aronian, Gelfand makes draw against Artemiev. So all four top boards drawn in the open section. Board 25, well, another
Rook
Another
versus
endgame
knight.
lesson, yeah. Another endgame lesson. Board 25, is it one how playing with the knight, I guess, right? Or let me
Yeah,
see.
but okay, this is...
Yeah, one how defending with AOL, it's absolutely hopeless. It's actually Tari with black against... Yeah, one how Tari. Arian Tari is trying to win this, but, well, perhaps the wrong
Knight
player.
f5, good. This is
Knight
good.
Knight h4, I mean, like this, yeah. Okay, Alexandra Maltsevskaya against Bibi Sarasobaeva. I
Yeah.
believe this will finish in a draw.
Yup.
Ha, see, I'm good at predictions.
What a surprise, eh?
Yeah, but that was obviously not that tough to predict. Okay, what do we have in the women's section? We completely forgot with all this mess in. You know what? Lucknow wins once again while we were talking there. Well, there is one more game in progress. Rauf Mamedov against
Against Hovhannisyan.
against
Robert Hovhannisyan.
Hovhannisyan.
We
And-
have seen all those queen endgames, but here black has an extra knight, so it's
Extra
a draw.
knight, but who's playing for a win? Pardon me. I mean, I believe black, yeah?
Black, yeah, I mean, Rauf had made this gesture of come on, draw, but black just insisted of
Oh, no,
continuing.
okay, knight d3 takes... Okay, black insists
black
on playing for a
insists, yeah.
win. But how can you win this?
No, you just can't. Even without the c5 pawn, it's a dead draw.
Right, let's...
Yeah, this is very hard to imagine.
yeah, queen and knight without this pawn is
And
a
in
draw.
fact,
obviously.
if the white
Yeah,
pawn
queen
gets
takes-
to c7, then
yeah,
black
at some
is risking.
point, yeah, at some... Ah, yeah, you mean like risking not to stop it.
Yeah, so he
Wow.
just gives the perpetual.
King c7, okay. Now, white kind of declines the repetition here. Guys, you mustn't be serious. Queen takes c6.
Yeah. Enough is enough. Draw.
All right, so this is a draw, and while we are getting ready to update you guys with the standings, with current results of the current round, we have another interview with a special guest of this tournament,